Good afternoon, students. Today we'll focus on the mitochondria, the organelle that powers the cell. Today I will be discussing on the internal structure and organization of mitochondria. So let's enter the world of mitochondria. So students, today we are going to start the chapter on mitochondria. We will delve into the world of mitochondria, which probably is my favorite cell organelle. Now let's start with a schematic drawing, though it won't be just like your textbook, but let's draw a cell first. So this being a cell, let me try out the what does the cell contain. Now we know that to look into the structure of mitochondria, we first should know where is the mitochondria located in a cell. Later on we'll be talking about the function, the biogenesis, the diseases associated with mitochondria, and the symbiotic origin of mitochondria. So let me change the color because I have to show you the different structures and organelles with different colors. So let me draw the DNA. Sorry, it went a bit outside, so let me rub it. Okay, now it's fine, I think. Now so this is, we all know that a eukaryotic cell consists of a cell membrane with a nucleus containing the DNA. Now let's see. So this is a cell with this nucleus containing the DNA, though I'm not a very good artist, so let's I think you will adjust to this. So let's draw some mitochondria. So this is a mitochondria. Within the mitochondria we will see some scribbly structures like this. Okay, so these are the scribbly structures within the cell, which are the mitochondria. So now thinking about an eukaryotic cell having a cell membrane and a membrane bound nucleus, so I've drawn the cell with the nucleus and the DNA. Now one of the important structure of a cell, eukaryotic cell, we know is mitochondria. Now this squiggly lines which I've drawn within the mitochondria, they are I will be talking about this in my next class, of course, or in maybe a little bit later. So let's now write, this is a mitochondria. Let me increase the opacity a bit. So this is a mitochondria. So I'm writing in short, this is a mitochondria. Okay, so it's a textbook visualization, but in a it's not that good. I think you will adjust to this. So we know mitochondrion is actually the singular of mitochondria, which is the plural form of the word. Now why mitochondria is so very important? It is called the ATP factories. Why? Because we know that adenosine triphosphate is called the energy currency of our body. So the mitochondria, and it produces what? It produces the energy currency, which is the ATP. So let's write, this is the ATP producing organelle. Now why ATP is required? ATP is required by all the cells to do all the functions. That is, we think, we breathe, we digest, we do everything just because of the ATP providing the energy. So all kinds of work are driven by ATP. Now this mitochondria is a fascinating past. I think you must have learnt about it. It is fascinating because let me change the color a bit. Let me choose violet and let me choose this, or maybe this. So mitochondria had an independent origin. If we look into the evolutionary history of mitochondria, it was an independent bacteria-like microorganism which somehow invaded the ancestral cell of ours. So what happened? After it was ingested into a cell, it was digested, but the mitochondria was not removed. Why? Because the cell had an added advantage. With this mitochondria, they could lead a symbiotic life, allowing the mitochondria to survive within them, and they depended on the mitochondria for energy generation, and the natural selection supported this. So this is indeed a very wonderful phenomena which led to the origin of mitochondria in our body or in our cell. So this is mind-boggling. Now let's talk about the structure of mitochondria. So let me draw, let me change the color. Maybe I will choose green now. Okay. So if I choose green, this is a cross section of mitochondria which I am trying to draw. So mitochondria cross section, where we see that like the cell membrane, it is also bilayer membrane, having one outer membrane. This is the outer membrane, or OM. I am denoting by OM, and this is the inner membrane. I will come. This is the inner membrane with some folded structures inside it. Okay. So if we look into the outer membrane first, again let me change the color. Maybe I will choose yellow now. Okay. So this outer membrane is a bilayer of lipid. So if we try to draw that, so we have read about the plasma membrane. It looks just like that, with the hydrophobic ends facing out and the hydrophilic ends which are facing inside. So this is a lipid bilayer which we find in mitochondrial outer membrane. So so this is a fascinating thing, that this substructure of mitochondria. Now this outer membrane has certain other proteins in it. So let's see what are the proteins. These are called the porins. So let me write, this is porin. Now what is this porin? The porins are the tunnel proteins that form hole for the entry of certain substances. Now we'll ask, what kind of substances? It will not allow all substances. It will allow only small molecules, not the larger ones. Small molecules like sugar or ions can pass passively. So a small molecule concentration or ionic concentration outside the outer membrane and on inside the outer membrane is same because of the presence of the sporins. Now, just as I've said that this outer membrane is not the only membrane in mitochondria, it has an inner membrane. Now, this inner membrane has certain folds that where the process of electron transport chain, or we say ETC, takes place. Okay. So now what is the why was this folding required? This folding actually increases the surface area so that the ETC units or the enzymes which are causing this ETC can have a larger surface area, so that the numbers are more and so more amount of ETC can be conducted. Now, what are these folds? We often hear a word called cristae. So, this is a cristae. T-A-E, cristae. So, what is in fact a single one is called, one fold is called the crista. So, this inner membrane is also a phospholipid bilayer, but it does not have porine, unlike the outer membrane. So, the concentration of various molecules inside the inner membrane is different. It's not same as that in case of outer membrane. Now, we see that there is a space in between the outer and the inner membrane. So, this space is called the intermembrane space. I denote by IMS. You people won't write like this. You will write the full form of it. So, it is the intermembrane space. But we have to remember that in this cristae there are some structures. Let me change the color again. What should I choose? No, maybe this one. Okay, there are some structures in this cristae which are the ATP producing enzymes, which we often call ATP synthase. So, this ATP synthase are the ones which are associated with production of ATP. So, inside the inner membrane there is another, let me finish this. This is ATP synthase. ATP synthase. Okay. There is a space which is called the matrix. Now, what is this matrix? This is the space which is called the matrix inside the inner membrane. I am denoting with M. This is the matrix. So, why is it called matrix? Because the concentration is much more here than in other parts of the mitochondria. It is more viscous than the outside. So, this is called the matrix. The matrix also had certain enzymes which play an important role in various cellular processes. So, I want to end today. We will be continuing with the other modules of mitochondria in the next class. So, thank you students. Meet you in the next class.